What is going on? We're jumping right into the action here on Sunday. Getting right into it. Hopefully you can hang out and while maybe you're watching football or something. And you can hang out here with me. What's the problem? Nodak, what's happening? Hit that like button. I appreciate it. We get 3-bet by the small blind. Hey, we'll take it. We will take it. We're going to hang out for a couple hours tonight. Do the damn thing. See how it goes. Oh, what's up, Emmy and Ryback? Welcome. Glad you're here. Oh, painting Christmas cards? Playing Dune 2. What's that? I don't even know what that is. I got to look it up. I can't now. There's too much happening. Dune 2. On the Switch, huh? Like a game? Or are we just watching the movie? Because I can get behind that. I'm all in. I'm all in on the movie. I got the sound effects going. Oh, I forgot this one. Forgot to make sure that I had just the sounds of the starship I'm in here in the background. He's got a lot of ace-X here. I'm not worried about getting check raised. I have a draw to the nuts. That's right, Mary Lou. We got the sound effects going. Again, the problem with ace-high boards, right, is that the big blind's going to have a lot of ace-X that they call with. So it's tough to get people to fold an ace. But we are still drawing to the nuts. We do not get there. That's sad. But we are going to bluff. We're going to fire this bluff off, but it's tough to get an ace to fold here. Yeah. Well, he turned 2-pair. It wasn't getting 2-pair to ever fold. It was never gonna happen. Officer Tom Friendly, what is up? Welcome. Scott Bergson, secretly watching. I like that. Okay, Doom, Emmy, Doom. Okay, that makes sense. Doom 2. It's a great game. He's killing everything. Love the sound bites. Awesome. I'm glad. Now, it is funny how I have to make them work. So sometimes it might not work right. Now, the bridge sounds are always going to play, but the other stuff, not so much. This is a really terrible spot with an ace here. I'm going to call once, but when they donk multi-way, that's a big size, $12. This is a relatively large bet into an $18 pot, multi-way. I've got to proceed cautiously. Top pair, shitty kicker, probably not a great hand. And then the front door flush comes in. If he continues betting, I'll assume he was donking with the flush draw or some sort of combo draw and got there. Yeah, and I pots it. I just give up. No big deal. But yeah, so when I have to play the sounder to switch, there's a couple of things I have to do. It's not just one button. I don't know if I can do it. I'm going to continue to work at it. but it's tricky. I figured I'd change the lighting up for this. It's not so important that you guys see me crystal clear, I don't think. We will call. I don't love it, but it's a small raise. I don't think we're going to get a 3-bet very often, so we're going to get to see the flop in position. We are not doing well here. I'm just going to give up now and call it a day. Yeah, and I think I'm going to work on the light. I have some other stuff. The real question is whether I'm going to, like, rearrange this office or not. I don't really want to. It's like so much work to set up everything else. But I will be here for a little bit still. You know, we'll get some new fun stuff. But if you're hanging out, I'm glad you're here. And if you found it, you must be subscribed. But make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. The subscriber milestone's like the next big one, right? Like hoping to get to 500 subscribers. It's a whole thing. I'm still waiting on my Starfleet uniform. I don't know what's going on over there. They're very slow to deliver it to me. I was a little worried when I set the stream up. A lot of times, like NFL Sundays are kind of slow for online poker, but there's a lot of tables going, so hopefully some action. Mostly because I think like a lot of poker players are just also degenerates. So they're sports betting. They're doing everything. Oh, Lori Wagner, I didn't even see that was your comment with the lighting and the sound effects. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out. And if you're watching football, if you want to post any updates to the games here, that'd be great. What's tonight's game? Baltimore, right? Let's see. It's Sunday Night Football, isn't it? God, I don't remember. It's Ravens Patriots. Oh, those are the tickets I got West for. God, it's already the 21st. How is Christmas like a week away? Are you all ready for Christmas? I'm not. But I will pretend. Oh, I have messages from Wes. I'll have to check them later. Hopefully we get some action. Poker is a game of patience. Sometimes you just sit and fold for ever. It's not so bad when it's like I'm playing online. If I wasn't streaming, because then I'd be doing something else. I'd have more tables going. Or I'd be like, looking shit up online. I'd be reading articles, whatever. Oh, the three-name bandit. What's happening, man? Glad you're here. Gotta fix that chat box. It's not good. It's not good where it is. Oddly enough, I feel like sixes can bet here once. I can get called by a lot of just weird hands one time. So it's like those sixes wants to get the showdown. I think I can get one bet out. And sometimes it's easiest to get that bet out on the flop. Especially king high because they're not just going to randomly stab at it. That's not it. Where's that chat box? Let's move it up and to the right. Like that. Let's try that. It's like I messed with everything in here today as I was changing some of the graphics, and now it's... Alright, we'll try that. No. I thought maybe I'd get away with a call, but these guys are maybe a little too aggressive for that. Ernesto, welcome. You're visiting the nation's capital from Philly for the weekend. Nice. All of us that have grown up around here, those of us that like aren't from the city or love the city, we all talk shit about it, but it's a fantastic place to visit. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of great places to eat. There's a lot of amazing shit to see. You just get spoiled if you were from here. And like going into the city is, feels terrible for us. So what have you done? Or now, it's Sunday now. So what'd you do today? Where'd you go? The museums, the monuments? Oh yeah, three-named bandit. We have sound effects. Most of the time. And there's like a quiet bridge noise in the background. Hopefully you can hear it. It's meant to be quiet. Otherwise it would drive me nuts. But oh yeah, we got the door sounder between the tables. And look, if we got a big pod or something great happens, I got some other sound effects, but I don't want to waste them now. We will see bet. Again, the big blind, oddly enough, like now this guy's stats are kind of tight, but who knows? We haven't seen enough. But you can get away with just barreling. They are not going to check raise enough. I don't have a hand that can stand a check raise, so it's just an easy fold. Right on, Ernesto. Museums, the zoo, and you did the little city tour. It's good. That's a good day. There's so many bars down there. I can't tell you what any good ones are, but there's a zillion of them. King high. We have no equity. Same thing. The plan's to like triple barrel, and they just find a way to overfold. Ace queen off from the small blind on table 1. Ace 10 off popped up on table 2. That's actually right on the cusp. I will just elect to fold. You could play it. So interestingly here, like ace queen doesn't need a lot of protection. 6-4-6 board, like I can just kind of check call and win a lot. But it's hard for me to get a bet. Like I can always try like a small river bet to just get a little bit more money out of them. This brings in a 4-liner, so any 2 or any 7 is a straight. That sucks because they end up, like the big blind has a lot of 7s. So we will elect to check and see if we just don't win with ace high. We do. Again, I think the blinds just are a little too aggressive for me to hope that I don't get 3-bet. Maybe not 18 hands. Maybe they just got smacked with the deck. Once a small blind folds, he's kind of a fish. So I just have to remember that. Now, I think it's weird because, like, Sundays are like NFL day, and Michael Bancroft, welcome. Glad you're here. YouTube recommended me again. All right. Well, I like it. I hope that you hit the like button and subscribe and follow along. I don't have a set schedule, but eventually. I'll probably never have a set schedule. I shouldn't say never. But not anytime soon. Yeah, if you've been following along, or if you know me from the podcast, The Chad Duke Show, yeah, I mean, if there truly are like raising first in that small ace 10 office and going to do well, and then if I think that the blinds might 3-bet me, like I'm just kind of torching. It's close. The question is, like, do I think that I can outperform them post flop? And we just don't have enough hands for me to say that confidently. This person's calling it an awful lot, so. But yeah, if you've been following along with, hopefully in the spring of 26, I'll be. It's so funny because so often I do want to check here out of position on an ace high board. Mostly looking to check raise, so I'll probably just check everything and see if they do bet. I don't think that they're going to stab at a very high frequency. I turn a gut shot. We will delay c-bet kind of 2/3. It's weird because that side, like, I don't know, it's like an over bluffed line, but I don't know, I know that. I mean, clearly if they raise, I fold. They have no bluffs. Sometimes people check back like a set in position. Like you have 2s or something insane. Like, I don't know what this guy raises. He calls a ton. So. Get over here. Oh, Michael Bancroft. Okay, nice. He played the 5-5-10. Where were you? Australia? Somewhere weird? Was that someone else? So you buy in for like, so what's that, 100, just over 100 big blinds? I feel like that game really, God, that game, the money should be getting in a lot. I'm going to check everything out of position there, like most of the time. Turns an ace. If he has an ace, I probably make more by betting myself. Like, I don't know that I can, like, if I check raise, like, does he fold the river to a big bet? A lot of times, probably. Here, it's nice because the front door flush misses. We're just going to try to get called by, like, ace-jack, ace-10, things like that. I think he would have bet a queen a lot of times on the flop because it was two-tone. You know, people have to find a way to call with something, so we'll just try to get a big bet in there. Hell yeah, man. It's awesome that you had two good nights. It's a good game. You know, I remember we talked, like, you just don't have a lot of pros there, so it's got to be great. 100 big blinds deep, so, like, your skill edge somewhat gets diminished. But so what? There's still probably a mental block, like, I would bet. Even though, you know, it's effectively, you know, 120 big blinds, people just don't want to put all the money in. Like, you know, $1,200 is a lot of money. People don't want to put that in. This guy, I feel like he 3-bet me earlier, and I had a hand to 4-bet. Ace-jack off is usually a pretty big, like, clear call, but this guy's been really tight. I'm just going to fold. I actually think it was the other table where that happened. I don't know. So one of the downsides of, like, doing a stream while playing is that normally, since you can't tag players on Bet Rivers, is I would have, like, a notepad up. But, like, an online stat is that people under 3-bet from the small blind and the big blind. They're just, like, you know, compared to, like, quote, you know, GTO. So whatever the charts say should happen, they just don't do enough of it. This guy limp cold, so we'll pay attention to what he has in a limping range. Tell me if the bridge noise is too much. I have it down pretty low, so hopefully it's not, like, overwhelming you if you're watching this. You know, just wanted to be some background noise. Like I'm on the Enterprise, man. And my uniform is still at the cleaners. Yeah, please hit that like button if you are watching. Now, this guy had been flatting a lot. Out of position, ace-10 just sucks. We just make the second best hand. All the time. Flop comes ace high, then what? What's the plan? Check call? it's pretty miserable. Like, I could maybe squeeze it in as like a 4-bet bluff, but I know that he had been flatting a lot. So there's no reason to have 4-bet bluffs. I would 4-bet huge for value. And that's it. Now we have Queen Jack suited from the small blind on table 2. We 3-bet and get called. It's a king high flop. It's the wrong color, wrong everything. You don't want a triple barrel bluff from out of position. You just end up checking a lot here. DC Sports Mark. Oh, the production value. Hey, well, I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm working on it. Little by little. The problem is I have so much extra stuff. Like, there's, I'm not a streamer. I'm not really anything. I'm barely a poker player. But, like, I got to, I spent the day, like, working on graphics and stuff like that. And I don't know how to do any of that. Oh, we just fold here. If you had a bet, like, half pot or less, interestingly, like, I could consider check raising. But when they choose a slightly higher size, especially somebody this tight, it's just for value. I'm comfortable 3-betting, but that's about it. And even then, I'm only 3-betting. I'm not 3-betting. Like, there's no reason to polarize. It's just good hands. You just want to 3-bet linear against somebody so tight when they open. There's no reason to have bluffs because they're not folding enough. And they're not adjusting to me. So but yeah, I was looking around my office. I was like, oh, I do have this light that's kind of soft. I can move it here. I think it works. Somehow. So I'm not too dark and I'm not too bright. I have lights for the wall. But again, like, and those of you that have been following along, on the show, I'm moving. Hopefully in like 4 or 5 months. So I'm just trying to use what I have and not, have to do too much here. Just to take it all down. But we'll see. Very tight player opened. The real question is, do I expect this to get raised very often? What if I just decide to flat, which isn't really a thing? But it's been a pretty sleepy table, so good to see a flop for cheap, hopefully, and sometimes you get lucky. That's not bad for sevens. Open-ended, it is two-tone. The pre-flop raiser, this guy should check. He should check a lot with 2 people left to act. because it's going to get, like, stabbed at. Do I want to stab at it? Like, how worried am I about the check raise? Not so much. It's, like, not the end of the world if I get check raise, so I can take it. That's what you got to think about online, too. Like, I don't want to get blown off the hand, but a check raise would blow me off the hand. I have a lot of equity. So, I'm just right. Thanks, Lori. Perfect. I like it. I am probably going to have to get another monitor. This is the person I was thinking about earlier. This is probably not even a she. They've 3-bet quite a bit. In position, we'll see. I'm going to go either way, honestly. Because really with ace-jack here, I'm just not in love with it. It's really difficult to face 3 streets. Like, if they just bet, I don't really know what the fuck to do. Because I lose to ace-king, ace-queen, aces, kings, which is in their range. But I do think they were 3-betting more. When they elect to check, I'm actually going to check back and expect them to bet again on the river with all of their bluffs. Whereas I bet all of their bluffs fold on the turn, I could check and expect them to bet now. Now that they didn't, that kind of sucks. Basically, like, I need a king to call me. They have a hand like king, queen, or king, jack suited. So I need to go pretty small, I think, to make that happen. Yeah, once they bet the flop, check the turn, check the river, I don't think they have bluffs. They have a value hand. Or, like, weak value. They folded, yeah. You know, something worse than top pair. The problem with, like, going too tiny is that, like, if I had a really strong hand there, going really tiny is cute because it can induce a bluff. The problem with my exact hand is if I go so small that I think that I might have induced the bluff, then I have to end up calling with kind of a shitty hand. So you try to pick the size that's just right. Yeah, it's a lot of sizing tells, Michael Bancroft. That's absolutely it. Especially from the fish. I mean, they tell you what they have. The people who, like, you know, if I see enough showdowns, like, if I see enough, like, that I think are better, then the sizing becomes less relevant because they, you know, quote, like, should know what's going on. But even then, everyone falls in the same traps, really, even pros. You know, again, unless you're playing in a known pool and you knew this player was good, you just don't. You're just going to try to push the incentives of your hand versus unknown players in an unknown pool. Bummer. Poker's the worst. It's the best and the worst. I didn't play it live at all this week. Maybe next week. I might actually see how it is on Christmas Eve. Like, will it just be degenerates? That'd be perfect. So I might go. Like, even the pros take off. Like, all the pros that I know, you know, they take a break. Some of the, like, the young grinders, the young pros will play. Like, thinking like I'm thinking. Like, oh, well, it might be, you know. Do I just get to play with degenerates? Well, Wes is sending. I can't spoil it. Wes has sent some pretty good pictures. I think his wife sent me some good pictures too. For those of you that don't know, if somehow you found this stream and you don't know me from the Chad Duke show, God bless you. Tell your friends. But right, I got Wes tickets to the game today for Christmas. I was a Secret Santa. Well, when I got him the tickets, I lucked out because the game was Sunday, but I got upgraded to a Saturday night game. So him and his chick are there. They're sending some pretty fun pictures. You know, being kind, thanking me. I forgot. I opened 8-6 suited on table 2, but it's went multi-way, which is not really ever where I want to be with this exact hand. I have a gut shot. So we want to see as many cards. If you think about this hand, like what it wants to do, it would like to see another card for very cheap or free. And sometimes you can get away with trying to set a price, or you hope it checks through. I thought it was going to check through a lot. This guy is going to be incentivized to... Oh, now I only have to call $12 into a pot that will be... I mean, it's for a stupid gut shot. And if I pick up equity on the turn, I'm really unhappy because I can't go anywhere. But we're going to call one. All right. At least it wasn't a diamond. At least now I can fold if the cutoff decides to bet large again. They're going to stab a lot, though. And we whiff. What does he stab with? Well, he called from the cutoff. His range is pretty crazy. He's got a lot of, like, weaker ace-x hands. Ace-6, ace-5 that he didn't want to 3-bet because he's just too tight. I cannot get him to fold an ace here. I'm not worried about anyone having the flush. It's more like, can I make an ace fold? And I don't think I can. Damn it. It's an interesting hand to stab with. Kind of should have relied on that. Like, I don't know. They end up stabbing there a lot. So maybe it's an interesting place to just check raise. Yep, we had 8 solid outs, Michael. You're right. But you got to get there. It didn't happen. I could be convinced that maybe I'm just supposed to bet the flop small and expect the in-position player to never bluff raise me, which is probably true. And I would almost never get check raised. I'll have to think about that one some more. But I think if I bet the flop, it's kind of easier to control the pot. In fact, the in-position player might just fold with king high. And I'm in a much better position on the turn. Heads up. I underestimated how much I think. Like I had said, oh, I don't think it's going to get stabbed a lot, but that's not true. The guy to my immediate left is going to end up stabbing a lot with the exact type of hand that he stabbed with. Just nonsense. The size threw me off. If he'd gone smaller, I think a check raise is actually really cute. Oh no, Wes left my gifts that I got him there. That is hurtful, Kevin Smith. Did you just come to deliver bad news? Did you come to hurt feelings? You just come to Hurt feelings, our Kevin Smith. It's horrible. What else did I get him? I got him like somehow Orioles tickets. But there's some weird voucher thing. It was a nightmare. That shit was a nightmare. Baltimore stinks. I had to go. I mean, this is probably Major League Baseball's fault, but I had to go to their site. They're like, oh, we have these vouchers. They're like a holiday gift package. I was like, oh, okay. That's what this is. It's a Christmas gift. Then when I had to transfer them, everything was convoluted. Everything. It was a whole mess. I just opened an account in the bird cage or whatever the fuck they call their Orioles fans. It was a nightmare. Don't buy anything. Don't buy anything from them. Oh, I misclicked on table 1. I'm an idiot. All right, so I misclicked from the big blind with ace-3 suited. I just wanted the flat. And he should re-raise, and now I have to fold. What a bummer. It happens. Sometimes it happens. I did not want to min-raise. Oh, we don't get to play Queen Jack. I can never cold 4-bet this hand. Like, basically, your cold 4-betting range should be impossibly strong. Jacks, Queens, maybe not even. Yeah, Jacks you could probably throw in there sometimes, but you don't even need to do it. Queens, Kings, Aces, Ace, King suited. Freaking Kevin Smith. Bring in the worst news. The worst. West stinks. I'll see his dumb head soon. I can't even talk about what we announced. Oh. If you did not watch the Christmas show stream on Friday night, you missed out. It's okay. The episode will be released Christmas Day. So I hope you guys like it. It's a hell of an announcement. If you weren't watching live, you missed it. Doe is right, Michael Bancroft. I feel like an idiot. Though it happens online. You misclick often. Your kid once misclicked for you when he was a baby on your lap. You ended up getting it in with king high versus 2 pair and runner for the straight. Look, those are the things we love. You got to love it. I've had so many misclicks where I was like, so I went to fold, especially like, again, this site, I can't use other software, but when I was playing on Ignition a lot, what was the table tamer? Jurogen to manage all the tables. And, like I went to fold and I clicked like you could set it up to like have buttons that like to set equal bets across the flop turn the river. So I clicked one of those. It was a fucking massive raise, and they jammed, and I was like, technically I can call with anything now because I've ruined this, and I had I don't know. Jack 10 suited or something that I just didn't want to play. Like it was like bet 3-bet and I 4-bet it. But at that point I was there, so the money went in and I got very lucky against aces. But it's not what you want to happen. I've also had it go the other way. It's like, so I misclicked the money in and of course I lost because I had 7 deuce. Let's see if we can play 7-8 here from the small blind. Sometimes 3-bet. It's a call. We just need to hit. And that's what we're talking about. Will they bet enough if I check raise, and will they call my check raise? Probably. Though, I mean, it's a 3-bet pot. I can push the money in. It's just kind of hard. It's easier to get it in if you check raise somewhere. And check raising on the flop has the least amount of fold equity. And when they check, life sucks. But there's 2 flush draws out there. We don't get to go nuts. They just don't have anything to call. A lot of their diamond flush draws are just going to bet the flop because they don't care if they get check raised. Well, once they raise there, I don't think they have any bluffs, but I beat a lot of value. Like, unless they have 6s, they'd have to have exactly 2s. I'm just going to put the money in now. I'm going to put it in myself and hope 8 is good. It's going to look like I have a lot of bluffs here. Like, I don't have 2s. I do have a lot of flush draws that just want to take the hand down so they can call with a flush draw or a pair plus. I thought I put it in. Hey-o. There you go. Blowing them up. I don't understand what they are hoping to ever get called by there. I guess a flush draw, but the back door? I don't have the diamond draw, so I had a back door into a club draw that chooses to bet, and like, I don't know. I mean, they had an overpair in a 3-bet pot, but I have all of the overpairs as the 3-better. And a lot of them are going to want to check raise on the flop. So they're still all in my range on the turn. It's a good double up. We got to use the fun sounders. And I've got to pay attention to what buttons I'm clicking. I thought when I raised all in when I 3-bet on the turn. I agree, Michael Bancroft. Well, so what ends up happening, like, here's what I think. Often what happens with weaker players, like, right, like, you flop an overpair, and you're in their position, like, you could bet the flop, and you're okay being check raised, right, because I have all of the diamond bluffs. You know, so they can easily bet the flop. When I check raise, they call. You know, and they beat all of my bluffs. So you just prepare to call down. If you're going to put the money in like they did, though, they're only ever getting called by better. Especially when I misclicked the turn 3-bet when I thought that I put the money in. My misclick might have helped. By accidentally not jamming. They're like, well, I'll just put the money in. Yeah, but there's no world where I'm 3-betting and then folding. So they have no fold equity. I guess if you think that I would have my flushes in that line, I suppose. But yeah, I really like to try to think about how they played the hand, and like, just because it wasn't how I played it, like, is it good? But it's tough to justify. Like if their plan was, well, I'll check back the flop. I mean, because it really kills their hand. Like they could get a profitable. You flop an overpair. You could put, I guess, a profitable bet in on the flop and get called. Ace king, ace queen, king jack. Like I have to float. But see, I don't know. Checking through makes a lot of sense, but you can't decide to put it all in on the turn. Because I just don't have the flush draws. Some, but I am limited because some of them lead. You know, I see bet the flop. Like it just happens. Though to be fair, I am checking a lot from out of position. Way more than is, solver approved. This person's been playing a lot of hands. We'll just expect that they are able to fold by the river. And we turn so much equity. If we somehow get check raise here, that stinks. It's really hard to bet though on the river if I check here and don't get there, like as a bluff. I am going to target the missed flush draws with like a smallish bet. I don't know that I can make an ace fold. Like if I somehow rivered trip 5, I'd bet huge. If I had pocket 5s and got to the river like this, because I don't think an ace can fold. I'm just trying to get them to fold, just miss flushes. Yep, they definitely punted. It's good to be on the receiving end of a punt. Money's good. Hey-o. Top set. We just hope they have a flush draw. I guess they could have some weak Jack X or worse sets. They call. If they had a set, they would have check raised the flop a lot, so I'm really targeting Jack X and flush draws. We will go just under a pot. Just targeting top of range. We need to get the max. The hands don't come up enough. You got to get paid. Jacks again. I always 3-bet a little larger. People, they just don't care. The hands that are calling, they're calling $20 or $22. So any extra, if you can get an extra big blind, like it seems small. Like what's the point? But it's not small. Like that shit adds up. Just think about it. If you could get one more big blind per 100, that's, a pretty large increase to your win rate. We're going to check. We're both all over this, so when he bets, I'll just fold now. It's hard for me to improve to a hand that doesn't become second best Even their bluffs are like, because we both have so much ace X, a lot of their bluffs are ace X, but it's better than ace 3. Oh, Emmy Dotson. I checked my Venmo. Thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you're watching. Thank you for hanging out. Hell yeah. Well, it was good seeing you Friday night. You and Ryback. Glad you guys were there. Thank you so much for the Venmo. I do accept Venmos. Hold on, I should play something, right? Like, oh, there, like a big pot. I'll find something fun. What in the world was going to happen there? Oh, you guys weren't looking at table 1. It was weird. Hell yeah. Five-handed. I think once or twice a week, I'll start streaming from like Club WPT Gold. It's a different site, just because there's a ton of action. Like, it's crazy. It does become harder to break down though, but it's fun. Boom, Jason from Connecticut, welcome. Hell yeah. Glad you're here. I was also digging around for maybe some like there were a couple of the sites that I have to use for all this shit. There's like some okay royalty free music. I was like, what can I tolerate to maybe have in the background? Something that's like almost like lo-fi hip hop. Have it quiet. I couldn't do the same beat forever though. So the problem is I might find one good song. Well, I'm like, yeah, but that's 3.5 minutes. Then what? Queen 10 off from the cutoff. It's pretty close, but we'll go ahead and open it up. It's been pretty sleepy. Oh, the new guy 3-bets us. Jack off in the big blind on table 1. Oh, this guy's opening a ton of hands. We'll call. I could be convinced that 3. Actually, he's limping a lot, so we'll call. I don't know what he opens. Hey! David Slot, welcome. You're going to clean up. Oh, 3-year-old's birthday. But yes, they've got to be chill. It's a chill stream over here. Definitely got a check raise with the nuts. Just 2 tables, Michael Bancroft. Just 2. Streaming. I'm getting more and more comfortable now, like with the other stuff that I have to do because I'm streaming. So I might open up a 3rd. Probably not tonight, but in the near future. Like 2 is kind of slow. Kind of sleepy. If it's just me playing, I play at least 4. Usually 5. It just depends. More than that on Bet Rivers, though, does become difficult to manage because they don't allow any sort of software to help manage it. So I can manage 4 or 5 without it. Hell yeah, Bingtown's a great place to be. We love it. Now, you didn't pay off, but whatever. Glad you like the sound effects, Jason. They're fun. Parlay Pope says, "Go Bears." Did they win? I can't be everywhere. But yeah, Michael. Yeah, two is very chill. Then I get to hang out with you guys. And that's kind of the point. That's why, I don't like a lot of poker streams because it's a lot of just watching somebody play poker. Like, the only person I could ever really watch is Doug Polk when he does those crazy streams. Usually because he's doing some crazy ass thing, I could 3-bet 7s there. I think it's close. We will, of course, call one. Turn king. That's over. Unless he checks back. His bluffs, are getting smaller and smaller. Well, this is a pretty fantastic spot to be in. So we turn the joint. He bet the flop, checked the turn. This is kind of a weaker player. He's just not gonna fucking bluff enough. Oh, God. I don't know what to do there. I don't think he's going to bluff. People get so scared of the flush. He's a weaker player. So I have to just see if I can get called by something for a small bet. Oh, man, Parlay Popes. I missed the best game of the year. Oh, yeah, Michael Baycroft. You're 16 tabling. That is 4... 16 tabling cash games. You're just doing it for rake back. Full spread. Photon torpedoes. Yeah, if you're 16 tabling cash, 1-2, 200 NL. Yeah, I mean that's just pure rake back. And you had to be a pretty good player. If you were breaking even 16 tabling for the rake back alone, you had all the poker stars pros back in the day. I mean, that was all they were doing. They weren't winning poker. They were trying to 16 table the highest stakes they could to get supernova elite status. They were break even or losing before rake back. Yeah, I led close to $3, I think, on that river, Michael. We kind of agreed. I'll have to target something. He just didn't have anything there, and I don't think he was going to bluff. We flop top pair shit kicker on table 2. The table's been pretty quiet. I just always see bet my range there. In position versus a blind. Single raise pot. Both bluffs and value. Mikey OB. Oh, yeah, look, if it's hold an online tournament to help raise money for typhoid blankets. Online tournaments are hard. I know some people wanted a meetup game. That one's going to take some work and some, I've got to really do a lot to set that up. But I could figure something out. I'll have to get someone to put up the money, though. I'm not putting it up. We'll have to get a sponsor. Either Don't Sleep Energy or Jays or Home. Someone's going to have to sponsor that. For sure. Or they're kicking some money. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I know some people were interested in, Some people are kind of interested in tournaments. I'm not a tournament player. On Sunday specifically, that's tournament day. Like, maybe one a month. Like, I'll do if people are interested in watching. I'll put a poll up on the Patreon, the show Patreon. This is a few months out, but I don't like tournaments. So you'd basically watching me. I'd probably eat a lot of a certain fungus that day, and we'd just hang out. And maybe I bank a tournament. I've played one live tournament in my entire life, and I bubbled. I bust right just before the cash. I was the bubble boy, so I got nothing. And I've played, gotta be less than 20 online tournaments years and years and years and years ago. I won one of like ACR's, like, what do they have the big Venom series, mini Venom or something, I don't remember. It was like a micro, so it was for nothing. It takes for, God, you grind all night for nothing. Pocket nines, we will call one. Oh, the Bears won last night, right? Hell yeah! Hold on a minute. We gotta focus. We're just gonna call. That is not a good card. This is going to depend heavily on sizing. He checks. Of course he checks. He should check. My hand wanted to put all the money in on the flop. That is not true here. He only has 1.5 SPR. Like, we'll just check. We can always put all the money in on the river. We want his bluffs an opportunity to bluff. And if I, like, get bet check raise there, like, it sucks. Because I don't think he's bluffing. But if we arrive at the river in this way, we are going to put it in. If he snaps it off, we cry. If he snaps it off, we're in tears. Hell yeah. Got some big pots tonight. It's a little more exciting. Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, when online poker got killed everywhere, it, like, changed everything. Yeah, Mike Bancroft. If anybody, if you know about tournaments, like, just getting there is the grind. It's the worst. But maybe some Sunday I'll do some online ones. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that's it, Jason from Connecticut. Like, you can play a tight, aggressive style and make a lot of money. Like, in live cash. Even online cash. It's a winning style of poker. You just have to be patient. Parlay pose. I think you were saying raise when I faced the continuation bet when I flopped a set. If he has any bluffs, they fold there, so that sucks. So all the money had no problem getting in versus his value. I didn't need to help the money get in. Because he chose half pot from out of position. Like, we were good. The money, if he had aces or kings or whatever, like, all the money was always going to get in. A Chad Duke show poker night. I don't know if we could call it that. I'd have to talk to Chad. We can figure something out, for sure. Okay, on table 2. We have King 10 suited in the big blind, which maybe if it was heads up, we could consider a call. I don't want to be out of position multi-way with this hand. That sucks. We got to go bigger than that. So we're just trying to get heads up or take down the money because there's $9 in there. 10. Flopping top pair here is actually really good. I expect his range to be pretty face up. Like 10s, 8s, 7s, 6s, 5s, we'll check. Of course he checks. If he had 9s, he would have bet them. I don't think he has hands like 9, 10 really in his range. Maybe. So maybe we'll bet small to recap those hands. I actually don't like that either. Like, what does he have more of now? Maybe some suited combo. So there's another flush draw. If he has a 9 or something, he's going to want to fucking raise no matter what size I go. Right now, I want to get the most I can from flush draws. I think he would have bet King X himself on that flop. Yeah, when he raises, he's not bluffing. He has a 9. So, we just fold. It's not that big of a deal. Easy. Easy game. I don't know. I could tell you, we used to have this discussion on my study group. Like, find me in your entire database of hundreds of thousands of hands a turn raise that was a bluff. Like, you could like filter the database and find like less than a handful. So it is severely underbluffed, and that means bluff catchers are worth nothing. And since that's what I held, it's worth nothing. Or it's actually worth way more as a fold. It's making money when I fold. Yeah, I mean, live tournaments are a drag. I know there's people here local to me that, like, would actually, some people have reached out, like, would, like, help back me for, like, what is it, the Cakes runs a tournament. For those familiar, those in the area who know the sports junkies are. I know Cakes has a tournament there. If I could get some sort of backing for that, I'd go burn my day on it. But you have to understand that if you are buying a piece of that action, that you're setting money on fire. I am not a tournament player. But if you're doing it for the sweat and the story, I would take some. I would sell some action at zero markup. You would just buy it at even money, which I am not worth even money in a tournament. So you're gambling for fun. It's like buying a Powerball ticket. But, you know, if you buy 20% and I happen to bank, you get 20% of the money. You want to put my big... Parlay Popes, are you out of your mind? Look, I love all you guys. I do. I'm not having you at my house. It will remain giant and empty. Just me in my office here. I mean, I'd have to buy another desk. I could just, the basement's big. I could set up like another studio, another set. I'd get Corey Rita to build me the Lego Enterprise. I'd put that on the set. I can't do it, though, because I don't have to buy furniture. Parlay Popes. I have no idea if Cakes is a good poker player or not. I imagine the MGM pays him. So he doesn't have to be a good poker player. I don't think he's paying the entry fees. I think he enjoys poker. So I think they kind of... My guess is he has, you know, whatever their diamond status is, and they, you know, pay you. They pay as whatever. They might even pay him like a prop player. I don't know. Because there's certainly people that go there to play with him. George, we love you in that. I love you in that way. The Biker Sean. It's Riker Sean, sir. I don't know who Biker Sean is. Yeah, the Riker Sean poker house. Oh, look, I can't have it. I can't do it. I missed the comment. How much should I start with, George? I don't know. Always $200, but I have the table set up to like auto top off. Yeah, Michael Banker. I was just looking back through the chat. I knew I missed some. Yeah, man. If you were grinding that many tables, like you were doing it, just you could make a living off of rakeback. If you could break even playing that many tables on PokerStars, the Supernova Elite status, you earned a living just from getting paid by them. It was crazy back in the day. Okay, you met a check who staked you $2.5K for a tournament after meeting you for 5 minutes. You didn't cash. Hey, look, it's her money. That's right. I will let anybody stake me for a tournament. I will go play it. The problem with the local casino here, though, is I can't vlog it. The MGM doesn't allow recording. So, I'd take a break. On breaks, I would maybe try to post updates to the socials. Number one poker everywhere. But yeah, look, if you're willing to, well, here's the thing, Michael Banger. Nobody knows this about poker tournaments. The best players in the world, the best players in the whole world who play tournament poker lose 85% of the time. That's how that works. That's how it's supposed to work. We'll open ace-8 off. Has Riker Sean ever dealt from the bottom of the deck? No, sir. I would never. A man of integrity. I'm a Starfleet officer. Again, my uniform is just the cleaners. Yeah, you can only top off on these tables up to the max buy-in, which is normal for everywhere else. Jason from Connecticut. So the Mohegan Sun, they would let you buy in for 90% of the max, tip the dealer a 5, and then reload for a max. You could just buy the max again. Who knows? Was that a rule, or they just didn't enforce any correct rules? Now look, all buying in rules live. Casinos will tell you different. They're flexible. Look, when I'm playing at the casino, if I'm at the 5-10 game on Saturday, and a known whale wants to sit down with 5K, and we all look around the table, and we go, sure. And the dealer goes, oh, man, I think somebody dropped something, and they disappear. All right, everything's good, right? No giant stacks. All right, let's deal. Let's just play. Problem is gaming is watching. There are rules. You try to get around them, but unless you're hosting a private game in a casino, the gaming commission does not like that. Parlay Popes. I can't have Rounders sound bites. I'm Riker from the Starship Enterprise. He doesn't know what Rounders is. He wasn't a Rounders guy. It was a 400-year-old film for him. For me. This is hard. Pay that man his money. Rounders is great. Everybody who got into, it was a favorite of mine. weird how big it got. I mean, that movie, you know, a lot of people have seen it. Yeah, of course, Jason from Connecticut. I mean, you have to just make it at least 100 big blinds. If you're sitting down for at a 1-2 game, they're like, all right, the max blind is 50 big blinds. The correct strategy is probably to try to flip and go to build a stack. Like you're 50 big blinds deep, and everybody's going to be gambly. Like, what's $100? Like, so you're probably, you should open really big, and then your 3-bet size should be basically all in. Like, if you're, you know. I think on the Enterprise they only played draw poker. I've actually looked at some of it, and I'm not even sure on the Enterprise that they were playing any form of draw poker that I know correctly. Maybe one times 7 card. But it was a stud game they were playing, but they alternated. Because sometimes they'd be taking cards. I know for a fact I watched Data deal a stud game. You know, because there was like up cards, down, 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 up. I mean, I've played 7 card stud all of maybe 10 times. At the Mohegan Sun, they were taking a time rake at a 1-2 game? What was the time rake, Jason? I mean, depending on the rate, I mean, time is always better, but I don't know if in a 1-2 game that's true. Space poker, yeah. On the Enterprise, they had, look, by then, you know, it's, 22, the year is whatever it was. I don't think star dates make any sense either. But the space poker, yeah, they had developed new forms of poker. They were past Hold'em. You couldn't play Hold'em with Data. He's an android. He could definitely solve those computers were so advanced. Like he could certainly have solved the multi-way problem with solvers currently. $5 an hour is really cheap. This was at the Mohegan Sun. I've never played there. In fact, you don't really hear about anybody playing there. Occasionally. Very rarely you'll hear like a crazy Bart Hansen story. He always has a story. He's played everywhere. He's got to tell you. He seems like a good guy, and a lot of his like basic poker strategy is really good, but he's butt annoying. Oh, that's right, because more places opened up there. They're not only from the but it's all reservation gambling, right? Okay, yeah, $5 a down, so $10 an hour. It's still not bad. Actually, you'd be paying more in rake, for sure. Because usually they would take like what? Even at 1-2, they always take like a $2 drop somehow. For like the jackpot. For anyone that doesn't know poker, doesn't know live poker, like there's a rake. There's a rake taken out here too. It's just small. Relative. It still affects the game. 1-2 is actually like a weird stake to be playing. Let's stick with live. And they would take like maybe it's like a $7 max plus a $2 drop for the jackpot. That's $9. Out of the winning pot, right? I think in California, in the Bay Area, I think they take a drop before the flop even. Like, it's rapacious. But apparently their games are so good, it's worth playing. So, yeah, like, if they were making Especially if that game was only buying it for 50 big. Every pot would have been big. So yeah, $10 an hour would have been way cheaper. Data would be GTO. Right, the problem is that's assuming that Data never realized that we were ever underbluffing or overbluffing. Because if he would adjust, that's the whole point. But Data's an android. We got to assume that he'd be able to adjust. Like he'd see a couple showdowns and know that we were underbluffing in a spot, and he would adjust. He would rerun the solve in his head, adjusting equilibrium. Look, William Riker should not have been playing with him on the Enterprise. He said it himself. But I think I have that. Can I show it, guys? Here, well, I can. I have it. Let's hear from him. Let's hear from the man himself. Let's see here. And then, if I move it into a window that you could see, you'll see him. Oh, you don't hear him, though. I have to do something about that. I can fix that. I don't have it set up so you can hear it. I actually thought it would just be getting the screen. See, now I get to mess with OBS. Now you just watch me as I try to understand why it isn't capturing, like, because you guys would normally hear the sounds from the table. I just turned them off. Somehow you don't even hear those now. It's interesting. It's got to be an OBS thing. Something with when I messed with it earlier. Oh, you don't get to hear. You don't get to hear William Riker. Hold on. All right, we'll try this temporarily. Let's see. Nope. You get nothing. Oh, let me reopen it. I'll try to play poker and see what's going on. Well, this can't be good. If I hit this button, what'll happen then? Well, I don't know. I've been messing with some other stuff, Parlay Popes. Hold on. Commander Riker from Star Trek, The Next Generation, or hopefully. I don't know why I can't play the audio now. I think I would have to close OBS. So we're not going to do that. No more jackpots in Australia. That's probably good. I mean, it's an extra $1 or $2. Yeah, of course. I want to hang out with Data. I would play with all of them. If I could play you this damn thing, that video from John Frakes, he goes into it, but I can't do it. Oh, no, I'm a double voice, of course. Of course, that's how it happened. What a dumb thing OBS is. Why would it double my voice if I just wanted to show some desktop audio? Why would it just repeat? Like I have one mic. Sabbatical. Hi, I'm nude here. Glad you're nude. And here. Welcome. Our Kevin Smith. Data would have to play with the emotion chip, so there'd be any chance of beating him. Okay. I could see that. All right, we got 10s. Let's get the background. Let's get the Enterprise noises back. Oh, wait, I know how to do this. You guys don't care. You guys don't want to see that. You don't want to see how the sausage is made. All right, let's focus. This should be a reasonably tight configuration. We'll call with 10s and hope to flop the joint. When you flop an overpair here, it's a great feeling. Except we still lose to all the overpairs that they should be 3-betting. Nude here. See what size he chooses. Oh, he kills me with this. I'm calling here and almost always facing a river jam. I mean, there's also like Fifth Street Chicken. Like, maybe he doesn't fire the bluff with Ace King and Ace Queen. So we'll see what happens. Ace King, Ace Queen, King Queen, King Jack suited. These are all hands that he should be 3-betting. Of course, we face the jam because he's supposed to jam. I would say that this player is not going to bluff enough and fold. Very disrespectfully. Bummer. I don't think they fire enough. We have pocket sixes here, but who cares? Because we got aces on table 2. Yeah, his pot. So his sizing was perfect. Well, from out of position, there is no reason to do anything but get it in. Hold. Heyo. Photon, full spread, phaser, everything. But yeah, on that other hand, when I had the overpair, the 10s, he chose good sizing. I do think that they hesitate, though. A lot of, like, this guy's pretty tight. Like, they just hesitate, man. They just don't pull the trigger. They don't pull the trigger. You know, you just play the Fifth Street Chicken and just go, well, we'll find out. All right. So if I want to play that fucking John Frakes video, oh, I could add Finder as a source. Well, let's try that. Let's see what happens. You guys still don't care how that works. All right. So now, if we go to Finder,
Biker Sean.
You hear it, but you don't
Hey,
see
it's
it.
Jonathan Frakes.
We're getting somewhere. Versus the small boy on the table. One. I actually prefer to call these hands. This is a great hand that you just get to kind of call down with. Like, where if I 3-bet it and they 4-bet, it sucks. We'll check again. And we just, I think, win almost always. That's so weird, Rhett. I know that I got the Frakes video so you can hear it, but once I open it, so how is this playing? And how do I make it so that you can both hear and see him? I need to add it into my sources, but I don't know how. It's driving me nuts. I had this worked at one point. We'll figure this out. I will know. I will know how it works. Then we can hear from Riker himself. Twos gets 3-bet. You fold is the answer. I think I've got it. We'll fold. We'll fold. We'll bring him over here.
Biker Sean. Hey, it's Jonathan Frakes, Commander Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation. Or, hopefully, you watch Picard, Captain Riker, at long last.
Right.
The very thoughtful Chad has reached out, and he told me that you're working your tail off as a mechanic, and
It's the worst.
you're starting your own poker YouTube channel. I love the name, Number One Poker.
That's me.
Now,
I'm him.
Let me ask you a question. If you watched Riker play poker on Next Generation, and I've been thinking about this for years, why would he get in a game with Geordi, who could clearly see through the cards and knows what you're holding, Troy, who is empathic and feels the cards I have or don't have, Worf, who could kick my ass to find out whatever cards I do have, and Data, who's an android who has a brain bigger than all of us. Now, the only person he could conceivably take any money from is Dr. Crusher. Or maybe Picard, but he didn't join us very often. So good luck with Number One Poker, and happy holidays. That is for you, Biker Sean, from Chad, and from me. Enjoy. Bye-bye.
There he was. You heard it from the man himself. I will elect to bet small. The goal here will be to try to control the size of the pot. There we go. Or just win. That's good. Riker Sean is a tight player. Sometimes parlay popes. Hey now. And there's an open. We like it. God, can I be a little greedy with this guy? I feel like I can. Well, he folded. Oh well, it's all right. Parlay Popes chat is so cool. I agree. I absolutely like that's the greatest gift I've ever received. I was floored. I had no idea that he did that. If you were watching the stream, what was that, a week ago? That was the first time I had seen it, and it was a genuine reaction. I loved it. I love it. Can't I just ask computer? I can't cheat now, Rhett. That would be cheating. Computer, what's the best play here? I can't do that. That would be immoral. I'm a commander in Starfleet, for Christ's sake. No Starfleet officer would do that. It wouldn't happen. It just would not happen. We wouldn't do that. Ace Queen will call a check raise, though. Their range here should be very tight from the small blind because they theoretically should have no call. So it's like it should be a little wider than the button, or than the big blinds rather, because they have no calls. You want to proceed cautiously. Like I have a draw. They see bet small. We're gonna call here and assume that they're like over c betting. That they choose that size with their range. I think here I would like to bet with my bluffs. I think I could check and planning to raise the river if I faced a bet. The front door comes in, which sucks. Now what do I beat? Probably nothing. Like the hands that they call the turn with, if they're not a flush draw, hands like Jack 9. If they have it, probably about it. Like they had some connectivity, and I don't think I'm going to get them to fold top pair. I think we'll just check. I just don't know what I'm targeting. It's either over pairs or a jack, and I don't think they fold. Well, it's two pair, I mean. Yeah, I don't think I can get them to fold, their worst, their best hands there. It's not a good plan. Like, if you think that you can get people to fold some of their best hands by the river, like, go nuts. I'd like to be in that game. But they just don't. They kind of get caught in a trap. Sometimes they should, which is why you can go giant for value. Now we're four-handed, I'll call. Now if we get to the river, it'd be a great spot to river one bet, which performs way better than it should. Not on an ace, though. If no one bets, it still performs well, but I'm going to expect somebody to poke. Once they don't, it's a mandatory that I have to just see. See if I can't just steal a tiny pot. They all add up. He's taking a long time. I don't think he's going to fall. Oh, there we go. I don't know what he could have folded. Like 6, 7. Ace 5 suited on table 2. It's a great hand to bluff. We will open up Ace 5 off on table 1. Again, it's a cute 4-bet size too. Ace 5 is just a fold. Kappa, cool. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, sabbatical. The plan here, again, is just to hope that the big blind overfolds across 3 streets, that I can just bet, and get them to fold too much. There you go. That most players, like, you should call a lot for the big blind pre-flop, but you also then have to, like, you have to suffer through a lot. And it just doesn't happen. Hey, Brian Walrath. What's up, buddy? Brian from Natural Red Catering, everybody. I would tell you to hit him up for your Christmas dinners, but he's so rich he doesn't need it. I'll be there one day, Bri. One day. One day, Bri. I'll be so rich that I could turn down money. Until that day comes, I'm a whore. I can't help it. I'll get there. Be free. Sabbatical. I need to learn the streaming lingo. I can't learn. Look, sabbatical. I'm an old man. I'm way too old to be streaming. I can't learn the lingo. Okay? It can't be done. I can't do it. Especially the crazy, like the, what, you know, I'm not going to be talking like the crazy kids, man. I'm old. An old man. I'm a silly goose, Bri. Look, you can call me a silly goose all you want, Bri, but I know that you turned down free money. All right, it's not free. You had to work really hard. You have to work really hard for it. And it's Christmas, and you like your family. So I understand. I do. King high two-tone. In position. We'll bet really small. It's a 3-bet pot. Oh, I got check raised. Well, it's nice when you bet small with your whole range, because most of my hands don't. They're just are easy folds. You just fold. How much to get me to dance like Bri? Well, you didn't even get Bri to dance. Now look, I'm a whore, but I'm not a cheap whore, Kevin Smith. Costs a lot. There's got to be a comma in the number. WSOP online in West Virginia? No. So my only legal options are Bet Rivers. They are the legal cash game operator. Oh, yeah. And then Club WPT Gold, which is legal. Now they are using a loophole, but it is legal. So sometimes I'll play. Those games are crazy. I don't have any money on there at the moment. So those are like the trusted operators. Coin poker is probably legit. But honestly, those games are so tight that it's like, why? I mean, they're tighter than here. Like they're not great. I've heard that there's some sort of crazy arbitrage on coin poker right now with their coin. That like you can increase your rake back, but it's like another job. Because there's always demand for their coin to pay the rake, because then it increases your rake back, so you're able to sell it on the open market. Something crazy. Something that only poker degenerates would find out. Queen Jack is an awful hand. When it gets 3-bet, it's really bad. You fold. It just makes the second best hand all the time. They're really not good. Same with King 10. If these guys really are playing a little loose, more loose aggressive, I'll start tightening up. Sabbatical, yeah, the WSOP online site is still only, yes, Nevada, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Jersey. It's interesting. It's hard to believe they can't find a partner in the state of West Virginia, which allows for multi-state gambling, right? So Bet Rivers is West Virginia, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Michigan. I'd heard New Jersey was going to get added this year. It's possible they have because the games have been more active. Like there's been more players. Who's challenging me for what the heads up? I don't know heads up poker. You have an edge. If you've studied heads up for more than 8 minutes, then you probably have an edge. Look, Kevin Smith, you take it too far. We can't even talk about this. So I flop top pair plus draw. We'd really like to check raise here. We'd really just like to get the money in. He bets a third. Pretty nice because the flush draw actually misses, so we will pot it. We actually need to go a little over pot, don't we? It sucks when the straight misses because I cannot jam at a range that has ace queen in it in full. Fuck. Ah, fuck it. I'm gonna get snapped off by ace king or ace queen. Woo! Woo! Now you guys are being so gross. You're so gross, Bry, and you leave that for the other show. This is a wholesome poker stream. Parlay Popes will give me 2-1 on a $1,000 heads-up match. How would we host it? $1,000. So what are the blind levels? For 1K, what do you do? Like 2.5, I guess, and just play until somebody has all the money. We opened up 7-5 here. I'm not going to even see bet on the monotone 8 sideboard, though. If somehow it checks through the river, I will launch a snowball into hell. Well, now I won't. Oh, my God. Well, it's mandatory. It's a mandatory river 1 bet. Do I play any tourneys on here? No, I haven't yet. I've considered it for the stream. I'm not a tournament player at all, so it'll be a show. You want to play me heads up in person, Parlay Popes? No, you're not. I can't have you at my house. Can't do it. On table 1, it's blind versus blind. We'll switch over. Yeah, once they check back the flop, I think that I can start bluffing. And sometimes I get there on the river, but... All right, I've been going for about 2 hours. I think I'm going to be wrapping it up. It's a school night. I still have my job for now. Come the springtime, though. This stupid pocket 3's hand. If it somehow gets to the river, there's just how did no one has a 6, an 8, a 9. There we go. I was afraid I was going to have to bet. Because I didn't think 3's has showdown value. The 2026 Riker Sean Poker Invitational. Yeah, I don't know that the MGM will want to partner with me. Or my local casino. I could talk to him. Oh, now we got to throw Ant in. Look, Ant's, he's a goofball, but he'll play 1-2. He ain't playing 2-5. He'll play 1-2, and you have to know that he's going to play a lot of cards. All right. We'll sit out on the next big blind, and we'll call it a night. Thank you all for jumping in here. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you made it. Glad you got to hang out. It's very nice. We also made a couple of bucks. So can't complain about that. I don't know how much. I guess most people would probably be interested in that. So I'll have to do better for you. Let's see. 7, what's that? 800 between the tables. Yeah, so I think we ended up like 350. I didn't write it down. I'm like hardly a professional. But I was just doing so much. Normally I write it down. Yeah, I think we ended up a few $100s tonight. It's not bad for a couple hours worth of work. And I got to hang out with you fine folks. Enjoy the rest of the football game. Hell yeah, man. Glad you all were here. Make sure you click like. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free. You're helping me out. The next big milestone, of course, is 500 subscribers. If you like the Sunday night stream, let me know. It's #1 poker on all the socials. Hit me up. Let me know. Make sure you're following. As I play more live, I'll throw some, like, it's not quite vlogging. I don't have a local casino I can record from, but I'll talk about my sessions and whatnot on there, my live sessions when I go out. So yeah, man. Thank you all for coming out. Really appreciate it. Great to see you. All right. Later.